It's the diet that promises fast weight loss while letting you load up on bacon, cheese, and butter. But is keto really the miracle everyone claims it to be? Or is it quietly doing more harm than good? Millions swear by it. Others call it a dangerous fad. The truth lies somewhere in between. And it's not what most people expect. Before we jump into the video, do us a favor and like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us keep bringing this information to you. We'd really appreciate it. Now, let's get back to the video. At its core, keto flips the way your body uses energy. Normally, your body runs on carbs. It breaks down bread, pasta, and even fruits into glucose, your main source of fuel. But when you strip away almost all carbs, your body has to adapt. It starts burning fat instead. The result is a state called ketosis, where your liver turns fat into ketones, and those ketones become your new energy source. It's like running your car on an entirely different kind of fuel. The typical keto breakdown looks extreme compared to what most people eat. About 70% of your calories come from fats, 20% from protein, and less than 10% from carbs. That means almost no bread, no rice, no sweets, and barely any fruit. It's an approach that sounds restrictive, but that restriction is exactly what makes it powerful for some people. When your insulin levels drop and your body burns fat more efficiently, weight tends to come off quickly. That's what hooked people in the first place. And then came the explosion. From celebrities to influencers, everyone was talking about keto. It wasn't just another diet, it was a lifestyle, a movement, and for many, a badge of discipline. Pictures of dramatic before and after transformations filled social media feeds. People claimed endless energy, clearer skin, sharper focus. But behind all that hype was a reality that most didn't talk about. Keto was never designed for quick weight loss. The diet was originally created in the 1920s to treat children with epilepsy. Doctors discovered that when these patients followed a high-fat, low-carb plan, their seizures often decreased. The brain, starved of glucose, began to use ketones instead, and somehow, this change stabilized their nervous system. That's where the keto diet began, in hospitals, not gyms. Over the years, researchers noticed other potential benefits. Studies hinted that ketosis might improve cognitive function or slow neurological decline in diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. But the research is still in its early stages, and what works in a lab doesn't always translate to everyday life. Still, many people turn to keto not for medical reasons, but for its promise of rapid fat loss. The first few weeks are often dramatic, mostly because of water weight. When you cut carbs, your body releases glycogen, and each gram of glycogen holds several grams of water. The scale drops fast, and the results feel addictive. But then, reality hits. Energy levels dip, headaches set in, and the keto flu begins. It's not a virus, but it feels like one. Fatigue, dizziness, nausea, constipation. For some, it lasts days. For others, weeks. The reason is simple. When you suddenly cut carbs, you also cut many sources of electrolytes like potassium and magnesium. Without them, your body struggles to keep up. You can help ease the transition by staying hydrated, adding mineral-rich vegetables, or using an electrolyte supplement. But many people dive in unprepared, thinking it'll be easy, and find themselves crashing. Even beyond the keto flu, there's another problem that sneaks up over time: the type of fats people eat. Keto technically allows bacon, sausage, butter, and processed cheese. But just because you can, doesn't mean you should. Diets loaded with processed meats and saturated fats can raise cholesterol and increase heart disease risk. On the other hand, if your fats come from olive oil, avocado, salmon, and nuts, the story changes completely. The success or failure of keto depends as much on which fats you choose as how few carbs you eat. Then comes the bigger question: who should actually try keto? If you're pregnant or nursing, the answer is no. The same goes for anyone with a history of eating disorders or body image struggles. Keto's strict rules can easily spiral into obsession or restriction. And for people with heart issues or diabetes, it's not off limits, but it's something that should always be done under medical supervision. For diabetics, it can help stabilize blood sugar, but cutting carbs too aggressively can also cause dangerous drops. It's a balancing act that shouldn't be done alone. So who is keto for? In very specific cases, it can be a powerful tool. For people with epilepsy, it's still prescribed today. For others, especially those with neurological conditions, research continues to explore whether ketosis can protect brain function. And for some individuals who naturally enjoy high-fat foods and don't mind structure, keto can work beautifully, for a while. But even the most devoted followers admit that it's tough to sustain long-term. That's because humans crave variety. Social events, holidays, or even a single slice of pizza can knock you out of ketosis for days. And once carbs return, the weight often does too. That yo-yo effect, strict restriction followed by rebound, is what burns people out. Many find that after the initial excitement wears off, they're left craving the very foods they gave up. Still, for those determined to give it a try, there's a right and a wrong way to do it. The wrong way is living on processed meats and butter coffee. The right way focuses on real food: avocados, salmon, olive oil, eggs, nuts, leafy greens, and cruciferous vegetables like broccoli or cauliflower. Creativity helps. Replace rice with cauliflower rice. Make zucchini noodles. Build omelets loaded with spinach and peppers. Snack on berries and full-fat yogurt. These swaps make keto feel more like a lifestyle and less like punishment. But even if you do everything right, the bigger question remains. Is keto healthy long-term? Studies are mixed. Some show improved insulin sensitivity and reduced inflammation. Others suggest increased LDL cholesterol and strain on the heart. The outcome depends on genetics, lifestyle, and the quality of the foods you eat. If your version of keto includes a rainbow of whole foods, you'll likely fare better than someone living on processed bacon and cheese. For many people, keto serves as a wake-up call, a way to break sugar addiction and learn how different foods affect their energy. After all, removing carbs forces you to pay attention to labels and portion sizes. It builds awareness. But as a permanent way of eating, it's not for everyone. Sustainability matters more than speed. The most effective diet is always the one you can stick to, not the one that burns out your willpower the fastest. Keto's biggest strength is also its biggest weakness. It works quickly. You'll likely see results within weeks, but maintaining those results is where most people stumble. When you reintroduce carbs, water weight comes back, and it can feel like failure, even though it's just biology. Some use that disappointment as motivation to double down. Others give up entirely. The smarter approach might be to use keto as a short-term phase, a reset, rather than a lifelong rulebook. Because the real secret isn't about cutting carbs, it's about understanding your own body. Keto forces you to notice what happens when sugar disappears from your plate. You start learning what true hunger feels like, how much your energy depends on what you eat, and how to balance indulgence with control. That awareness is far more powerful than any diet trend. So before jumping in, ask yourself one question. Could you live without carbs for the rest of your life? No bread, no pasta, no fruit smoothies, no occasional cookie. If that sounds impossible, keto might not be your forever plan, and that's perfectly fine. You can still lose weight, balance your hormones, and feel amazing without going full keto. A moderate, balanced approach, more fiber, more vegetables, fewer processed carbs, often achieves the same result without the restrictions. The truth is, keto works until it doesn't. It's an effective short-term tool for fat loss and mental clarity, but its long-term sustainability is questionable. The science is promising but incomplete, and what helps one person thrive may leave another exhausted. What matters most isn't the label of your diet, but the quality of the food you eat and how consistent you can be. Maybe the next evolution of keto isn't about extremes at all. Maybe it's about using what we've learned. That sugar overload drains us, that real fats can fuel us, and building a balanced version that lasts. Because the ultimate goal isn't to chase ketosis, it's to understand your metabolism, listen to your body, and find a rhythm you can actually live with. Would you ever try keto? Or have you already? Share your experience below. And if you're curious why most diets fail after 6 months, even the successful ones, stick around. The next story might change the way you think about every meal you eat.